Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. My guest this week is eating lunch. Right off the bat, Kev On Stage, a.k.a. Kevin likes to eat.
Listen,
in the middle of the podcast.
The chicken sandwich is amazing. Gary was like, I'm ready to go. I was like, this sandwich is getting eaten.
Hey, listen, I put a disclaimer out there. We ordered food. All my guests, we give the option, would you like breakfast, lunch, whatever time we're recording. We're recording this in the middle of the day. I told Kev, you want some lunch? It took longer than expected. I eat faster than Kev.
You eat like you were in foster care.
I was in the military.
I was like, bro, but you're not anymore.
It's in me, man. I just eat fast. I'm sorry.
It's like, I was like on the first one, and you were halfway through the last thing. I'm like, bro, and I don't eat slow.
Hold up. I've been on, my wife gets so mad at me because I eat so fast, I'll just start looking at her like, you ready to go? Or, well, let's just talk. I go, I'm ready to go. I'm done. I'm done eating. Guys.
Now I'm like, I'm in a pickle because I want to eat this last one while it's hot.
I can tell a long ass story about me if you want.
Tell me about yourself. You're in.
Hey.
Because I want to finish this real quick.
Just do a Bengals rant real quick. Off stage. I'll be honest with you, Kev. You're the first person, and I'm going to use this napkin probably most of this podcast because I feel like something's in my teeth and my nose. I had a lettuce wrap. I felt like a piece
Once you got that feeling, you can't shake it.
Right. You're the first guest that I really don't have a personal relationship.
Yeah.
As far as that. Because everybody else I've had are in my phone. They're in my cell phone.
Right.
You're the first guest that I had to call. I had Tony Baker on a few weeks ago. And I said, hey, Tone, you got Kev On Stage number? And the reason I wanted you to be the first guest that I didn't really know is you seem like you're an easygoing, laid-back dude. I didn't want a wild card.
Right.
I don't know what I'm getting.
It's going to make you rethink doing it.
Yeah, or
you
like
get a wild
this.
card, you're going to go right back to your phone like, man, I had somebody new. Never mind. Let me get you on again.
Well, it's like if I got somebody, either they're giving me one-word answers. Hey, man, so what's up? Nothing. You performing this week? Yeah. Oh, we're getting nowhere fast right now.
That's the worst. And then your audience is like, all you do is talk. Like, you see me asking the questions?
Right.
They're not answering.
Nothing.
Then you feel the dead air. You feel it. It's like palpable.
Can't finish a chicken sandwich. The dude's not answering your question. If you're listening to this podcast, Kevin's destroying
this
chicken sandwich. Where does it come from? Let's give the restaurant a little shine.
R&D Bistro.
R&B? R&D Bistro.
And in Santa Monica?
In Santa Monica. R&D Bistro.
R&D Bistro, man.
Not to be confused with B. That's what I used to tell my mom. What are you getting in math class, D? Did you say B? Yes. So, Kev, whenever you're done eating, I really want to get into your life.
I'm done.
No, it's fine.
I'm done. I promise.
I had a lettuce wrap.
I was like, I was
clean.
really impressed by your discipline.
What, bread?
The no bread. Do you not eat bread, or are you like trying to eat right?
I limit. I'm gluten free.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the only reason I went gluten free is because, do you know Ramani Malco?
Yeah.
When we did,
well, not personally, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, we did Think Like a Man, and I was heavier then. You know, I was probably about 235 when we shot Think Like a Man, and I've always been like a husky dude.
Yeah.
But camera does add a couple pounds.
It does.
And
I'll be looking at myself like, you got.
Oh, wait till this airs. Wait, I mean, you're gonna look so big after eating all that bread.
Plus a chicken sandwich. So did you stop eating bread then?
Dude, I'm good at going cold turkey.
Really?
So we were at Hugo's on Santa Monica eating, and Romney literally goes, "Hey Gary, man, I tell you, if you went gluten free, you'd probably drop 10 pounds quick." And I go, "What's that?" This is 2011, so this is before everybody got on gluten free.
Yeah.
And he started explaining to me what gluten does to your body, and I was like, "This really?" I go, "All right." And then luckily we were at Hugo's because Romney picked the spot to meet for lunch. A lot of gluten free options, so it was like that day I went gluten free.
And you never looked back? Never cheated?
I mean, it has to be worth it. I can't eat gluten and risk it.
Yeah,
it has like, I know. There's a lady I know that makes a really good apple crisp. So I'm not gonna go to her house and be like, no, I'm like, make that apple crisp, and I'm gonna destroy it.
Deal with the repercussions.
Like if I splurge and eat, like I probably eat fast food once every 5 months, let's say. And if I'm gonna go to McDonald's and get a fillet of fish, I'm
You
eating
eat the
fillet of fish.
I've always wondered who is keeping the fillet of fish in business.
Once every 5 months, I'll order 2 of them.
They're like, man, Gary gets my boy Tahir, he loves them. He gets a double fillet of fish.
Double's too much.
That's a lot.
That's too much.
a lot,
No,
man.
one. I'll do 2 fillet of fish sandwich. I can't do double. It's a good balance between the fish, the fake fish, and the bread, and the tartar sauce. You can't put 2 on there. It doesn't make it as good.
No, it's too much.
Who does a double fillet of fish?
Tahir Moore.
To hear more. You're going to die soon. I don't know what camera you're going to look at. You're going to die soon, to hear.
Oh, you got to stop, man. Tahir.
It's like a regular thing?
I wouldn't say it's regular, but he has done it.
He's on his way out.
That's a big choice, man. The double fillet of fish is 2 pieces of fish like that.
The same fish.
It's not.
Okay. I'm sure he gets fries and a soda with it, too.
Have to. You got to. You're good. You don't have nothing in your teeth.
You're going to hear. You should change your name to go. Because you're on your way out. You're not going to be here very longer. Stop.
For real, man.
But if you do it like I do, once every 5-6 months, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't be like, I'm at McDonald's. Okay, it's January. This is McDonald's. February is Wendy's. March is Burger. No. I'm talking fast food in general. It has to be completely worth it.
Yeah,
I'm a Midwest guy, so White Castle.
Oh my gosh.
Is every 6 months I'll eat it and then it's out of my system. I'm like, I never want it again.
It's literally out of your system right away.
Yeah.
People know that about White Castle. They're just like, I don't care.
I never had it sober for the longest.
Really?
Because that was the late night.
Yeah. You sop that alcohol up.
Let me tell you the funniest
4,
White
6
Castle
little
story.
burgers. Okay.
I'm going to get into your backstory, but this is a funny story. So I'm at a White Castle in Covington, Kentucky. And this white girl is in there. She sounds, I don't want to say black, but urban.
Right.
But it's a little forced.
Yeah.
Some people do it. You're like, that's how you were raised.
Yeah.
This was kind of forced. And she's going off on the White Castle waitress. And I'm just sitting there in line with my boy. There's a black chick in there.
Yeah.
6'4" and thick.
Snap.
And she's with like 3 white girls and real meek demeanor.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. And this white girl going off. And that white girl, the N-word came out of her mouth. And she wasn't saying it like to anybody black. She was saying it to the white girl working the restaurant. I never seen an accent leave so fast. This black girl went, the fuck you say? And then she went, no, it's okay. She goes, no, it ain't okay.
It's okay.
And all of a sudden, the black girl's arms came back and was like, she was so much bigger than the white girl. She's looking down at her, just raped like a mother, raping a daughter.
Yeah.
And the girl literally goes, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry. Like she was getting so progressively clueless, white. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry. And I think she ended it with, let's go to Waffle House. I was like, I bought her crew's food.
Yeah, just because.
I said, I just want you to be happy tonight. I want you to look back and think,
oh my God.
Not all white people are bad.
Yeah.
I was like this. I got it. And it literally came to like $18.
I was about to say,
It
like,
wasn't
man,
bad.
It's
The
an
4 of
extra
them.
20. You're good.
It was one of those things where the black girl's vibe was just like clearly, hey, we had a good night. Let's get our food and we're leaving.
Right.
And that girl was not, and I wish, I was one of the times I wish I was one of those people that film everything.
Yeah.
That was
Wait, this was recent?
No, this had to be like 2005, 4.
Oh, okay.
This is 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
That white girl's probably got 8 kids by 5 different black dudes by now.
She had to make up for that mistake.
I'm sure. There's some junior high team right now with 3 of her mixed kids on the basketball team.
That's hilarious.
There's no doubt.
Ball is Life has got some of her sons mixed
Yeah, right. It's a
out.
big baller brand. But that was a funny White Castle story.
Yes, it was worth it.
But we were talking before I got you on here. You were raised kind of on Earth.
Yeah,
You were all over the country.
My dad's in the military. Well, was in the military, just retired.
What branch?
Army.
Okay.
He's an engineer in the Army. He retired Sergeant Major. So we started in El Paso for 10 years. So my mom met my dad. So then he was stationed in El Paso. We got moved to Virginia for 3 years, North Carolina for 3 years, back to Texas when he was stationed in Korea, and then 13 years in Washington State. He moved. By then I was like married and stuff, and I was like, all right, I'm going to just stay here.
Is that where you started doing stand-up in Washington?
Washington State, started doing stand-up. I did the first time in church at a talent show. Yeah, did some church stuff, did some, getting whooped stuff, like all I knew at that time.
How old were you?
16.
First time you went on stage was 16 at a church?
16 at a church.
Wow.
Yeah. So then messed around with it a little bit in college. I got like a Kwanzaa gig 1 year, and like literally just a Kwanzaa gig. I
didn't get offered that. It's weird.
I remember my best joke at that moment was, black people, sometimes they don't say specific. They be like, you need to be more Pacific. And I was like, I'm killing it.
This is the church or the
this
college?
This is in college.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm killing it.
And we're like this. To make this more specific, we're in the Pacific Northwest.
Right. I mean, I'll tell you, I thought at that time, I was like, man, this is a really great joke. And I was only getting like 3 minutes at a time. So like that was my closer, essentially, Pacific. And then I got really serious about it. I got fired in 2009. And I told my wife, like, I feel like this is God's plan for me, to do entertainment. Because I was doing plays and stuff. She was like, nah, it's not. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just get a job again. But I got fired in 2009, and I was a terrible employee.
Where were you working at?
Key Bank, which started in Ohio.
Did it?
Yeah. Key Bank's big in Ohio. And I was a terrible employee. I was printing color pictures of my stand-up comedy shows. And one time I left the original in the glass at the copy machine. So my manager comes into the break room. He's like, hey, man, what's this? And I was like, oh, you saw a flyer? Yeah, bro, don't even worry about the 10. I got you. I'll put you on my list. And he's like, no, I found this in the copy machine. I was like, oh.
You got fired because of that?
Well, that was just one of many things. I literally hated that job. And, like, my job was to sell, banking stuff to people. And I just hated it. I never sold anything.
Was the boss cool with the flyer? Really?
No, hated me.
I would think,
hated
man, you hustling.
Me. No, he hated me. And then his boss hated me. I was an idiot, though. Like, my area retail leader manager was like, what are your dreams? And I'm thinking, oh, this is great. We can get to know each other. And I told her, I want to be an entertainer. She's like, what are your dreams here with this company? I literally said, I'm just working here until I make it. I don't know what you're talking about. Literally told her that. And went home and told my wife, man, I had a great talk with Lisa.
Okay. I can see why I can see why you weren't a good employee.
She was like, you idiot. You told her that? And I was like, she asked. She was like, she didn't mean for life. She meant with the company. No lie. Monday morning I came back and they brought me right in, like, you're on a 90-day performance improvement plan. Yeah. And I knew from that moment I was getting fired.
See, I thought this was going to be like a pursuit of happiness story.
No.
And the fact that you said that, go this. Oh, your bosses were right. They should have let you go.
They were absolutely right to fire me.
I thought this was going to be one of those, man, I was a good employee.
No.
Dude, I just didn't like my job, and they were assholes at my job. If you say, I ain't trying. This ain't my career. Hold on. As you're saying it to a woman who's made the decision, this is my career.
Literally.
Yeah. I don't want to be you. I don't want to be you. Why would I want to be you?
You want to work for a bank for 25 years?
You eat Jimmy John's every day for lunch. I don't want you to be
crazy.
I want chicken sandwiches from Santa Monica when I go on somebody's podcast. That's what I'm doing. That's where I'm at right now.
And the thing is, I was legitimately mad at them. For years, I carried a chip on, like a Jordan level chip on my shoulder. You guys fired me. I'll prove it to you. And then, as the years went on, I was like, actually, it's good for business.
I think that's everybody. When it initially happens, you go into an audition and think you kill it, and then you go to the movie and you see who they cast it, and you're like, man, they don't know what I could have killed that role. And then every now and then you look back, like maybe my audition wasn't that great.
I've had a lot of those where I've auditioned and thought I killed it.
I hate auditions.
Oh, me too.
No, but it's an exact science, though. It's part of the business, and I get it. But this is. I'm okay with auditioning and then not getting it, and for whatever reason. The thing I hate the most is you go in, and usually it's during pilot season, and you're studying 3 scenes all night. You're just in your fucking room. And,
Yeah.
and then you get there and go, we're just going to do scene one. And scene one is like 3 lines. You're like, there's nothing funny on scene one. I was doing scene one to get to scene two.
Right. So you can really get off.
I was like, you'd be like this. There was one, and I told this story. It might have been a Tony Baker or somebody else. That TV show Superior Donuts.
Yeah.
Where I knew, knowing this business, I go, they got this part casted.
Yeah.
They're just doing this not to be rude at this point. Because it was like 10 pages, 3 different scenes. I'm up for 3 days. Because I liked the script, and I knew they had some comedians attached already. I go, this would be a fun show to be on.
Yeah.
And as soon as I walked in, and I don't know why I thought I was that special, that I was going to producers at that point. When I saw them just going to casting, I go, this is just casting? Because, it's weird. Like, sometimes I read for pilots, I skipped the first round. I'm in the second.
Yeah.
This wasn't, Spirit don't want that. That was cattle call time.
Yeah.
So I see all these guys in the lobby that are kind of looking like me, and I go, oh, it's just cattle call.
Yeah.
And then the lady goes, we're just going to do, like I said, we're just going to see one. It was, I'm not lying, it was like 2 lines.
Oh, my God.
And it wasn't like 2 long lines. It was like, what are you doing here? You're crazy. Like that, right? It's so simple. And I just went, they already got this cast.
How do you even get, let's just not.
I walked in and looked at everybody, and I gave nothing. Gary Owen. Where are you from, Gary? America. I go, why are we doing it? I literally wanted to be like this. Who got it?
For real.
Who got it? Just tell me.
Real.
I don't want to sit here and waste my time.
I've auditioned a lot to me, and I don't be booking nothing. And I'm talking
Hard,
about it's hard on your psyche.
Yeah.
Because then you don't hear back.
Here's the thing. They always say, you got to be a tough skin in this business because you get told no a lot. I go, no, you don't.
No,
you never
don't.
get told no.
Getting told no is okay. I need hey, I tried out for the team. I went out. I look, my name's not on there. But there are names on there. I can deal with that. Yeah. It's just a thank you. And then you just walk back to your car, and then 3 weeks later, you see the scene that you memorized on TV. Like, you guys were already in production on this? What are you even asking me for? You clearly already shot this scene.
You already shot it.
Yeah, well, you just got to get to know more people and casting directors and the producer, and you never know. Which, there is truth to that.
There is definitely truth. I've gotten parts because I went auditioned, and not TV, but movies.
Yeah.
And the casting director went to bat for me.
Right.
I've gotten stuff because the casting director literally was like, no, I like Gary for this.
And that's the thing that's hard to remember. Sometimes the casting director likes you, or the director likes you, and the network doesn't, or somebody above them. Like, there's so much that goes into it that your talent isn't the only factor.
Well, for me, I know I'm the best, so I don't get it when I don't get stuff. Kev, it's different. Most people, they're like, I don't know why I got him like this. Why do you not put LeBron on the team?
Literally. I remember I auditioned.
I'm not Adam Morrison.
It's hilarious.
See, I gave you Pacific Northwest shout out, dude. I'm a beast at
I didn't think Adam Morrison was coming up.
Told you I'm the best. Told you I'm the best, baby.
Gonzaga's greatest, man.
Look, man.
But I remember Issa Rae, a friend of mine, I got an email from her.
Did you just name drop Issa Rae? Issa Rae, friend of mine.
I don't get to do it often, so when I take the chance, when I have it, I will.
I don't know why I didn't get insecure. I was like, that's who you casted, Issa Rae? I was like this. I could have crushed that role. I don't get it, man.
I'm totally insecure. Dude, insecure about so many things.
No, I was up for her part. It was weird. I was in the lobby. It's all these black women. I go, what is going on here? I killed it, though.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I auditioned for a scene in that, and it was like, at the bottom of the email, it was like, Issa would like to personally see you. So I was like, of course, this is just, So I thought I got it. And they were like, oh, you don't audition. I was like, oh, formality. Of course, you got to do that just so the producers see you. It's one of those 4 or 6 weeks later, I saw people booked it, and it was like a lot of handsome, fit people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it was like her dating interest. And I was just looking at myself. No. No, not Lil Rel. But a couple of dudes who were like 185. Yeah. And I was like, and I'm kind of like, I'm balding, I'm not the guy you cast to be the romantic interest for a 28-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a dad picking up a son from soccer.
Right.
A little out of shape.
Sugar
used
daddy.
to be junior varsity starter.
Bridges to LA County, not Madison County.
Right. But yeah, man, it's like, it's part, that's why I do so much of my own stuff, because no one can tell me no.
But that's the beauty of the times we're living in now. Like, you said you moved out here 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, when I got to LA over 20 years ago, you know, you were at the mercy of networks and producers and quote unquote the gatekeepers. Like, you couldn't like create your own narrative, or there was no podcast back then.
That's the thing YouTube. I'm the most grateful for. You know? Is we've come up in an era where you can create your own stuff. And nobody can tell you can't make a YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? You can't have your own podcast. You can't write your own movie. You know what I mean? But before, there was no way to distribute that. Cameras, all that stuff was way too expensive for the average person to do it or share it. But now, because of the internet, we've been able to level the playing field. You know what I'm saying? And you got a podcast, I got a podcast. You know, I mean, you're in traditional movies. I mean, they are traditional. I don't know why I did this. But
I do it a lot too.
Yeah, but I can make a movie and distribute it. It's just not going to be in theaters. But also, our theater is going to be a thing. Right. I was just reading an article, like 350 Regal theaters closed. And like AMC, like you can rent a whole AMC for $99. So it's like, is that going to matter as much in the future as it did? Because, you know, Disney just announced they're focusing on Disney Plus almost exclusively. So movies are going to come out always, but they're not going to come out in the traditional way. And if people are used to watching movies on their TV anyway, then it's much easier for me to say, hey, man, watch my movie, $10, $15, you know, after you finish your big Disney Plus thing. So that's what I'm banking on. Society changing. Well,
I ain't gonna lie. There's still nothing. There's no, how can I say it? There's no feeling like a movie coming out and going to your premiere.
Of course.
Walking the carpet and all that stuff.
Yeah, Billboard in Santa Monica or Times Square.
Yeah.
Like, obviously.
It's cool.
That's what I want.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I keep not getting booked.
But there's still just as good feeling is like I had the movie came out a couple weeks ago with Michael Jai White on Netflix, Welcome to Sudden Death. And just the randomest people, hey man, I saw your shit. I saw your movie like this. Did you?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's Sting Like a Man or something. Like, nah, man, I joined with you was a janitor, man. You got your ass kicked by the girl. I'm like, okay, I'm the guy that got my ass kicked by a girl now. I'll take it.
At least they've seen you.
You know, so there's no exact, like I said, there's no exact science to this business. The key, and I think I know I'm in the older comic category.
Yeah.
I just did what you did.
See, it's contagious.
You have to stay up with the times.
Yeah.
So like, I thought 4 years ago, I'd be like, man, I ain't doing no podcast.
Of course.
I don't want to do no, what, for what?
Yeah.
And now I'm like this. I'm mad if I didn't have one. I'm like, what? I gotta do a podcast, dude.
Why wouldn't you now?
Plus, it's also it's good to have that time with comedians because we don't get a lot of it together.
No, I was telling Lunell told me that one time. She was like, "You're not gonna get to see your friends perform unless you're on the same show. Like your best shot is to catch them in the airport, leaving the hotel you're coming into.
Yeah.
Like, but actually get to watch them perform. It's gonna be few and far between because if you're both good." You're both going to be working. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing COVID has given us is more time to like shoot each other stuff with Zoom and all that type of stuff.
And a good thing about podcasts is it's going back to, it's not about, you know, sometimes I wish I could get that feeling when I was an open micer where they'd be like, Gary, yeah, you're on from 9:30 to 9:40, so be here. And then your butterflies kick in, like immediately get the phone call. And then like for 3 hours, you're like, oh shit. I'm going up tonight. But you're so excited. And then you don't have that feeling anymore. Like,
do you not get nervous anymore?
No.
Never?
No. A stand-up?
Yeah.
No.
Even the big arena shows?
No. It's just...
Really?
No.
New material?
No, I love it.
Because I'm always worried, like, at your level, it's like, I've seen Gary Owen in movies, I saw him in comics or whatever. The expectation is much higher, you know.
You got to deliver, baby. I'm scared.
I told you I'm good.
Hey, listen, man. You good, right? No, I get more anxious. But what I like about the podcast is when you're reaching out to people, two things. The only thing I was worried about with the podcast was everyone says no. Yeah. And I go, oh my God, I'm an asshole. It's like when we transitioned from me doing it by myself to me having guests, I was like, it's going to really let me know how people feel about me.
That's true.
Because for anybody to come to get in their car, drive down to this studio, you're taking time out of your day. Yeah. There's no money in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Delicious chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich.
Didn't get to enjoy it.
Get water.
Definitely water.
Boom. We would have got you a latte.
Yeah.
We would have got you a latte. In fact, can we order a latte in the middle of the podcast?
Get the latte, man. I want the full
I want
experience.
an iced oat milk latte.
Sure. Oat
Get him an
milk?
iced oat milk latte. All right? Watch this. Yeah, I'm almost out of questions. No, but it's one thing. You're like, oh, this guy's really just doing this to do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you never know. Work gets work.
Yeah.
So if you don't have anything going on and you can go on somebody's platform that you never know who can see it, and I'll give you a perfect example. So the day I went on Harry Connick Jr.'s daytime talk show, I'm
Okay.
just a guest.
Yeah.
It was the day, and this is how you never know. It was 2016, the day after Trump won the election.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole country was kind of in shock.
Yeah.
So I go on Harry's show, and it's just a weird vibe.
I bet.
It was, I mean.
Was it in New York too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So literally, the results came in at 8 p.m., became official. At 7, 8 a.m., I'm on set, right?
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God, they're never going to have me back. Harry didn't like me. I just didn't realize everybody was just weird. That day.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I shoot a pilot that didn't get picked up for a daytime talk show.
Mm.
And I asked the guy, one of the producers, I said, how'd you get wind of me? Because they really were after me.
Right.
He goes, I was a producer on Harry's show. He said, and when you came on Harry's show, you just were, you looked oblivious to everything that was going on in the country. You were just happy-go-lucky, talking about your family, your reality show, and da-da-da. He goes, and he said, Harry was a little off that day, but you kept the energy up. And I go, that's what got it?
The thing you thought where you feel like you didn't bring nothing to the table.
And then he said when I got in, he goes, that guy could be a talk show host. That guy.
Wow.
So I was just like, so we did a pilot, didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
It happens, but work got work.
Yeah.
Work always gets work.
That's why you just got to be a pro every time.
Watch how your career takes off after this shit. I've cussed 3 times because Kev doesn't cuss. I don't know if you guys realize that.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Shit, fuck, asshole. He can't say it.
Those didn't even go together.
It doesn't. It's not supposed to.
It's just like random. There's no rhyme or reason to those.
Work gets work, man. Because you don't know who's watching what.
Man.
I was telling you before you came on, I had Guy Torrey on a month ago, and we talked about this shady promoter from back in the day.
Yeah.
The shady promoter who has been MIA for 20 years, all of a sudden called another guy like, hey, what the hell's Gary Owen talking shit about me for? I was like this. So now you appear? Let me tell you, you talk smack about somebody, they find out.
Especially if you have like a fan base, they'll be watching everything you are on. And they'll be like, Kev, they were saying this about you over here.
Oh, yeah.
They'll tag you to the minute mark. Like, scroll to 2:15.
Yeah.
They was talking crazy. Like, that's happened a lot of times. I mean, not a lot of times, but it's happened enough,
Yeah.
But, it's come to the game.
It's weird if people, like, give you criticism and you have to step back, like, are they hating or are they being honest?
Right. Because sometimes fans have legit constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're just pissed off.
Yeah.
And you're on their phone or TV screen or whatever.
Or
and
even
they
when
just gotta let you know.
comedians are talking about other comedians, and you're like, is he being a dick or is he really just giving his honest opinion? Yeah. I had Aries on here, and I said, that's your problem, Aries. You're too honest.
Right.
Because he's not, when I had him on here, I told him, I said, dude, sometimes when you're talking, I wish you wouldn't say anything because I'm like, you're taking the bait. You're taking the bait, man.
Yeah.
Like when he had that thing with Naeem and him and Naeem was going back and forth.
Yeah.
I said, what was the deal with that? And he was telling me something about Naeem. And I said, but he has to defend Kevin.
Has to.
I go, Kevin is like taking him on tour. And now they got the radio show. I said, if I'm Kevin, I'm mad at Naeem.
For sure.
For not sticking
You're
up for me.
Boy.
You have to.
It's like if your wife's pissed off at you, they don't give somebody else license to talk crazy about you. Like, no, I'll talk. That's my husband, though. I don't know who you think they should be pissed at them. You know what I'm saying? So I think in a lot of ways, especially the bigger you get in this industry, you kind of got to be like the star quarterback of your own business. Like, you can't take the bait with the media. You can't fall into those traps. You got to take all the blame and none of the success. Like, you kind of almost have to be like that. because, people will bait you. People will bait you into a Twitter war. And then if you respond, it's like, look at Gary Owen, he over here going back and forth with little old me. Like, bro, I'm just a regular person who has their mentions on too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's hard to always be the bigger person. Sometimes you just want to be like, first of all, you can forget all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll let you know what it is and what it ain't, but it really never usually benefits you in the way of just like, other than feeling better. It's like a heckler. You know what I'm saying? We
talked about it. We said, like, as a stand-up, you'll have 1,000 people in the audience.
Man.
999 are dying. And the one guy you said dressed in red is just looking at you like, why is he not laughing?
Yes.
And you'll get off stage like, what's wrong with that dude in the red? Not the other 1,000 people that have thought the show was great. Dude, what is his problem?
You don't even have it. You could have the best set of your life. One person ain't laughing. And I've had situations where that person has had like a VIP ticket and like is getting a picture. And I'm like, dude, what was your deal? Were you laughing? He's like, oh, I just don't be laughing. I love you though, man. Let's get this selfie. And I'm like,
yeah.
When do you come to the show? Like, you're like, no, man, I don't be laughing like that. Like,
well, it's like if you're a headliner and you're on a show with like, you're on some of these tours where it's 4 or 5 headliners.
Yeah.
Like you can go up late and the audience can be tired. Physically be tired.
Yeah.
And then so you're not getting the reaction you are used to.
Yep.
And you'll get off like, damn, I kind of ate it and bombed. And then all your messages will be like, funny shit tonight, man. I loved it. Man, that was great. Had a great time. You're like this. I didn't get that at all.
I didn't get that vibe from you at all.
Or how about this? Do you sell merch after your shows?
Yep.
You'll go up at a comedy club and have an okay audience and sell everything.
Right.
Then you'll go up and destroy and won't sell shit. You're like,
you always feel like if I killed, there better be no shirt.
No,
and they're just like laughing right past your t-shirt.
They're leaving on the way out. This shit is hysterical. What about this?
I mean, I've had some of the worst shows as far as audience-wise, like not laughter-wise, but like small shows, and you really meant 5 minutes.
Yeah. You ever had an oat milk latte?
I've never had oat milk.
Dude, I'm opening your horizon.
Oh, that's good. That's actually really good.
There's no sugar, no dairy. You're not going to fart.
You don't do dairy either? Mm-mm. No dairy, no gluten? Mm-mm. What kind of desserts do you have, man?
A little bit. A little bit of dairy every now and then. But no.
That's amazing, though. That's creamy still. I was worried about the oat milk to be creamy.
Sounded weird. This podcast went weird.
I like a creamy latte, man.
Yeah. Creamy just sounds weird coming out of a guy's mouth.
Creamy, moist, they're weird things.
The guy that should never go out. Don't ever describe an oat milk latte as creamy.
It's creamy and moist.
No, just say, hey, it's like milk.
But nah, man, it is creamy.
Motherfucker, you can't say it. Motherfucker, stop saying creamy, Kev. If this motherfucker's just creamy one more time.
I remember when I was first starting, we talk about merch. I remember when merch, I routinely made more in a weekend in merch than I got paid. Like, merch was the gate key to my good weekend or not. Like, I was getting paid $120. I remember I was flying from here to Athens, Georgia to get $125 for an hour. And I was like, man, the math ain't mathing. You know what I mean? Just the parking my car and riding the flyway, I made maybe $80, $60, you know, when you take all the food and stuff out. But I made like $1,500 in shirts in one day because people.
Who was the headliner? You was the headliner?
I was the headliner. Yeah, okay. But it was at a church. At that time, I was doing almost always only churches.
What'd your shirt say?
I think they just said faith at the time.
Oh wow!
But the T, watch this, Gary. The T was a cross.
Wow.
Come on, it hadn't been done.
Wow.
Actually, had been done. You want to know the truth? I saw it at a Forever 21 store.
Jesus
and I was
Christ.
Like, I'll be taking that.
I think I know why you haven't been casting anything. You're a legend in your own T-shirts. Like, oh, no way. You went to a church and sold faith.
But
shirts, the T was a cross.
The T was a cross.
Where was Jesus? Was he on the T?
It was just a cross.
So it wasn't a real cross. You gotta have some
symbolic.
blood coming down and thorns on the T.
That's too much. That's too much.
That's what I would have did. I would have taken it too far. Can we get like a nail in the H? Like directing into the T?
Man, merch was
reversible. So it's resurrection. You know, when it gets dirty, can we have the sweat have resurrection come through it?
Oh, like those workout shirts when you sweat and like reveal something else?
I want the whole biblical scene. when you're sweating. It starts off as faith, and when you sweat, Jesus pops up. Then this pops up.
And he's got guns.
And I want Mel Gibson.
Right.
Oh, the Passion of the Christ shirt. Oh. Then we got James Caviezel.
What has that guy been up to?
Him?
James Caviezel.
He always pops up in something, though. You think
It
he's not
does
working?
be random. It does be.
Yeah.
After Passion of the Christ, I hadn't seen him. Then I saw him in like a not a buddy cop, but like a suspense thriller. He was a cop or something like that.
He was on a TV show, too, for a little bit.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Some of them people.
It's hard to come down after Jesus, though.
Especially that one.
Yeah, I mean, that was like it was a pretty intense thing.
Did you see it in the theaters?
I saw it at church.
I saw it in a theater, and I almost started laughing.
Really?
Because the lady in front of me was bawling. Her eyes are like, yeah, I was like this. It's not real. Okay. I've cried at movie theaters like E.T. I was so low, like 5 when it came out or something.
Yeah.
When Elliot and him, I was like this. I think as an adult, have you ever been in a theater and just started crying? No, I've gotten like little moist.
Oh, man.
Antoine Fisher.
You said moist, by the way. Just
right.
what I told you,
You're
man.
right.
Creamy, moist.
I'm
They're
sorry
weird.
about that. See what you did? See what you
Antoine
did?
Fisher was super intense, though.
So I got a little teary-eyed
There you go.
at Antoine Fisher because I was like,
He was going
Hold on,
through
this
hell, man.
welcome.
Oh.
I was like, them fucking old crooked knuckles. That's how she got casted. That was the audition. They literally had a line of old black women going like this. Welcome. Thank you. Can you come in?
But they were studying for 2 more scenes. And they're like, we're just going to do the welcome line.
Yeah. Welcome. Whoa. It's going. Thank you. And they called her agent. I think I killed it. Welcome.
Oh, my God. It's funny. The worst I ever cried in a movie you wouldn't expect. The Croods. I don't know if you saw that.
Who's in
The
that?
Croods, it's an animated movie about cavemen.
Hold on.
But listen though, it was the fatherhood thing because he was like taking care of his family. He was about to die to save his family, and the father in me was like, "Well, I would die for my family if we was cavemen too, man. I would just die." I was crying. But the worst, I don't know if you've seen this movie, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. It is
Who's in that?
nobody big. It was like a small movie I saw on a plane, but they tell you what's going to happen at the very beginning. Spoiler alert.
Me, Earl. Why do I know that film?
RJ something. The black dude is RJ something. I can't think
Can we
of his
look
name.
that up?
RJ Seiler is a black dude in it. Super funny. Him and his boy, and they meet this girl. She's sick. They tell you what's going to happen as soon as the movie starts. Mm-hmm. And then what happens, exactly what they say happens, and you're not expecting movies to do that anymore. You're expecting it to be like a
twist?
No twist. We told you it was going to happen. It's in the title. Then when it happens, I was crying on an airplane on the way to a show. I'm talking about shoulders going, flying to New York. I had to put my hoodie on and turn to the side, like making noise. In seat 24B,
again?
the movie?
Yeah.
Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl.
I got to watch that by myself.
But watch it by yourself, because you'll be surprised how emotional you get. Like it was
Some,
tough.
man. I'm thinking, what gets me every time? Like, I'm just like, oh, God. I know.
Triumphant stuff, man.
Like, Pursuit of Happiness,
Oh my gosh.
when he gives him the job at the end.
Oh, when the way he just went down the stairs, all like jittery. I was out of here. It was so much, man. His son in
Will
the
can
bathroom.
get you.
Bruh.
Will, the Fresh Prince, when his dad left him,
Bro, I was mad at my dad during that episode, and he was in the kitchen. I was like, oh, you just gonna go
my
to work.
dad was kind of him for a while.
Really?
He's good now, but growing up, that hit home, brother. I was
Man.
like this.
That was the first time I really cried.
Oh, that Fresh Prince episode, man.
It just happened.
Yeah, you think I want this? It just happened.
The way he did that was so,
Oh, you a better man than me?
happened.
Oh, okay, Phil. Way to go! Way to become the victim.
Right.
It's every therapist you meet. He did it. Oh, way to be the victim,
Yeah.
Ben Vereen. You already left Webster. Now you're gonna leave Will. This guy left everybody.
Oh, such a good scene, man.
It just happened. He should have went like this. I'm out, Dad, turkey.
He was acting so hard with
Yeah.
his hands. It was going so hard, man.
Trying to think, what's another film that I just cannot There's certain movies you have to watch by yourself.
Yeah.
You will freaking lose it. I'm trying to think. Antoine Fisher, I got me good. Pursuit of Happiness got me good. Boys in the Hood, man.
When Trey's crying?
No. When he shot Ricky, man.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
I remember I was a kid. I thought he died for real.
Oh, you thought Morris Chestnut died for real?
I thought he died for real. And the same day I saw that, he was on the Tonight Show. And he came out, and I freaked out. They were like, ladies and gentlemen, Morris Chestnut. And he came out, I was like, what? At 3 o'clock, he died.
Yeah.
What is he doing out here? Like, I don't know why I was watching Boys in the Hood and the Tonight Show, whatever, on the same day. But I was lost, man.
I did a joke about every time I watch Boys in the Hood, I think Ricky might live. Every time you're like this, just make a left. Or stop eating the Twinkies.
Everybody says that. He didn't have time. They're like, he was supposed to go UFC. He should have juked. It was in slow motion.
Right.
He got like 3 steps, and then Rajon Rondo shot him in the back.
How about this? The guy that shot him, I'm on YouTube, and I saw this whole YouTube video, and he really became that dude.
He's a murderer for real.
He really like was, and he had like some heat on him in Hollywood. Even that little scene.
Really?
He started to get phone calls, and things were bubbling, but he couldn't leave the street level. And then I think things dried up a little bit, and he went to crime. You know what fucked me up out of all, there's some obviously screwed up stories in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But speaking of Antoine Fisher and 8 Mile, there was an actor that committed suicide. He was in both those movies. Can you look that up? He was from Dayton, Ohio. You know, I'm from Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. So he was on a show on Bravo called The It Factor too. Mm-hmm. And then It Factor, Jeremy Renner, Lisa Ray, he was on it. And I remember I just was rooting for him. And then all of a sudden, what happened was he got Antoine Fisher.
Yeah.
And he got 8 Mile back to back.
So he's,
or it could have been the other way.
Yeah.
So he's like, dude, I'm
in.
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Angelo Wilson. What year did he die?
2008.
Damn, 12 years ago.
Dang.
So you figure 8 Mile and Antoine Fisher was 2001, 2, 3, something like that?
Yep.
So I remember I saw him in a Sprite commercial.
Oh, wow.
Like in 2005 or 6.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, he's still working.
Yeah.
And then it was like, 3rd page of the LA Times or something. They found him in like a warehouse and he hung himself.
Oh, my God.
And then he talked to like family and friends and they go, he was getting depressed because he wasn't working.
That's the thing, like low key. One thing that I don't suffer from depression, but one thing that helps me in the like audition process is I always have something else to go to. Like I always have stand up, I have podcasts, I make my own videos for fun. Like there's always something I can control.
Yeah.
The audition room, I feel the most powerless in Hollywood. Auditioning and pitching, it's like all on the other side of the table. You literally you do your best, but you don't know.
You're a Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption.
Literally. Like you
literally like this. I'm good. I'm rehabbed.
Right.
I'm going to deliver. I'm going to know my lines. I'm going to give you a hit show. No. You're like this.
You almost got to be dead inside. Like you have to audition with your best, but like you're like a cornerback who just got scored on. You just got to like, all right, I got to shake it off.
Think about it as an actor. And hold on. For people that don't know, what was his name again? D'Angelo Wilson was the guy that shot the store owner, and Antoine Fisher, his best friend, and then in 8 Mile, he was just one of the crew, one of Rabbit's crew, one of Eminem's crew. Can you imagine being an actor and you're out here and you're grinding, and you're probably running with other people that are grinding, right?
Yeah.
So at least that gives you a little context because you're like, okay, there's other people going through what I'm going through,
right?
But then to get something. And to think, all right, I'm in. And then let me tell you when I realized how this business works.
Right.
I'm out here open micing, trying to name out there. And I had a lot of shit come early. Like my first year in Hollywood, I got Comic View.
That's your first year?
I wasn't even living here. I was in the Navy. I was still active duty when I got on Comic View.
What?
I took a week's leave and came up and shot.
You're lying.
I was stationed in San Diego.
You booked Comic View, and you weren't even living in L.A.? You were still in the military?
Yeah, I was still active duty. I was in the Navy.
Wow.
I auditioned. I won this contest in San Diego, said we're looking for the funniest black comedian in San Diego contest. I won. It was Z90 was a radio station.
You
I won it.
You went into that was like,
Yeah, and there was like first prize was I don't know, like some gift certificate, some food place, like $100 or something. But you also they kept promoting it. There will be execs from Comic View there. BET's gonna see you.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was there, but anyways, it got me the audition to go to Comic View. So I had to come to LA and do a little showcase, but it was a Comic View showcase. Mm-hmm. So it was I don't know, it was somewhere off Wilshire. So I went up, did that. I got on the show. When they said this is your film day, I had never been on the road. I had never been on the road. I just been
you
San Diego.
literally got a you had a playoff run in your first season.
Right. I was San Diego. I was Andy Ruiz when he beat
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, that was me. I was like, Mom, we ain't got to struggle no more. So anyways, I took a week's leave and Comic View, they filmed it in a week.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I might be up here Monday, but I kept winning. So I had Kevin to come back. You know what I mean? I was like, shit, I want to get him. Come back. I want to get him. Because it was a contest. Then they said, you win all your first 3 rounds, then you get an hour special. So I got an hour special. When I tell you, I don't know where the hour special is. You really only had to do 45 minutes because it was commercial. Mm-hmm. They were counting for commercial breaks.
Yeah.
So I had maybe 20. When I tell you it's the slowest paced hour special, I tell a joke and then I walk to one side of the stage. I walked and I go, yeah. I waited till the last person laughed and then I went into the next joke. And I winged a couple jokes. Like I just said, I'm just gonna try this. And the couple jokes I tried worked a little. Yeah. But I put them kind of in the middle. And I was just like, I knew I had a strong first joke and a strong last joke.
Right.
I don't know where the other 40 was going to work out, but I knew I had a good 2.5 and a strong 2.5 in the beginning and end. And that's really what it's about.
That's hilarious.
So then Curtis Gadsden called and said, you want to be the host? And I was like, oh, I still got like a couple months left of my enlistment. He doesn't know I'm in the Navy. Navy doesn't. There was people in the Navy, but the Navy didn't know. I was on the gate. Literally, I was a Master at Arms.
Really?
So I'd be on the gate, waving cars on the base, and somebody'd be like, hey, man. The brother would pull on it. We on TV last night? I go, yeah, come on. Keep it moving, bro. And then if the girl was cute, hey, we're on TV? I was. Right. Hold this. So, yeah, I'm on TV. You know what it is, man.
I got this little thing.
About to get out next month. So, go ahead and write down your number. Wow. I'll get you out 80 tickets on the base, and maybe give me a little whop or something.
Give me a little whop.
Give me a little whop.
Wow. So you went from the military to professional stand-up comedian.
I think that's where I got a lot of my quote unquote hate. So I remember talking to Samore about it, and Samore had been the host, and I had saw her at like the Improv, and I was like, man, I thought everybody got along in stand-up. You know what I mean?
No.
I was like, I've been nice to everybody.
Man.
Never said a bad word about anybody.
But you skipped over people. Is that what it was?
Yeah, well, Samore said, she goes, Gary, I was the first female host. She goes, so I caught a lot because I was a female. Mm-hmm. And she goes, you're white. You're so easy.
Yeah.
It's so that you're the easiest mark out there. How you gonna make the white dude? And then I had never been on the road, so nobody really knew me.
That's another thing.
But I had been in San Diego. I couldn't travel. I was working.
Right. It's not that I didn't want to go on the road.
Talk about El Paso. My first ever road gig was it the comic strip?
Yep.
In El Paso, Bart or something like that. Was the guy that ran it? Yeah. I went. I'll never forget. I drove from San Diego to El Paso.
Oh my God.
It was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday gig.
Wow.
So I took off work early Thursday, and a couple guys I was stationed with covered for me. They're like, "We got you, Gary. Go ahead." They knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Dude, they're gonna pay me $500
for the weekend."
Yeah. I was like, I'm out. I'm going to El Paso. I got in my S10 pickup, drove from San Diego to El Paso. I left at like 5 a.m. Got there that night or before the show and did the weekend.
You drove straight to El Paso?
Yeah, San Diego to El Paso.
That's like a 12-hour drive.
Yeah. But you got realize I'm early 20s, bro. That's nothing. That's nothing. S10 pickup, had the cassette tapes going,
you were
the
living,
CDs.
You had the window down.
Oh my God, I was living life. I'm about to be like 500, baby. And then I remember I got there and they put you in a condo. I didn't know comic etiquette. And I remember there was a guy named Chaz Elsner was the headliner. And I got there and nobody was there. I go, oh my God, this is awesome. I thought I was by myself. I went in the big bedroom, laid up. All of a sudden, Chaz Elsner show. He goes, hey, how's it going, man? What's up? Are you on the show? What's up? I'm Gary. And I don't know why I became a surfer that day. What's up? I'm Gary, man. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome tonight, man. You guys are looking moist and creamy. You guys looking creamy moist over there, all right? So he said, yeah, I think I'm supposed to be in this room. And I go, oh my God, you're the headliner. Is this the headliner room? He's like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Grabbed all my shit, put it in there. Now, me being a headliner, I'd have been like, I would have called the club and be like, I need new sheets. I need everything sanitized. Chaz was just like, thanks. And moved right in. I'm on the bed. What's up, man? Chaz Elsner did not give a fuck about me laying on the bed. So I moved to the side bedroom. And what I remember about the weekend is the only thing I ate, I knew I could eat at the club for free.
Yeah.
So I remember I bought a box of cereal and a gallon of milk. What, $10?
Yeah.
Our Arby's beef and cheddar, you can get 2 of them. It was at the time you get 2 for like $5. So that was, I had the cereal for breakfast, 2 beef and cheddars for lunch. That was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Every day?
Well, it's just 3 days. And then I ate at the club.
And then the club for dinner?
Club was, I was astounded the food was free at the club. I go, what? How do you guys make money?
Astounded.
I'm like this. You're paying me $500.
Wow.
And I don't know what you're paying that guy. And you're giving us food for free. Holy shit. And then they hit me with this. Yeah, the drinks though aren't. The drinks are like half off because you're the feature. I like this. Don't worry about that.
Right.
Ain't no drinks coming down this system. But that was my weekend. I was like this. So $15 at Arby's, and then $25 on food for the weekend.
So you came on $4.75.
I had to get
minus gas.
And I did hang out a little bit. I went to Juarez.
Oh my God.
I'd never been. I don't know.
What was it like?
Dangerous.
That was all. Well, when I was growing up in El Paso, when I was in high school, that was like the thing to do because you could drink at 16 in Juarez.
Yeah.
This is before the cartel kind of got crazy. Later on in their life, they were like, "All right, people don't do that anymore."
Yeah,
something happened.
You could die.
Like the jail is the least of your concerns.
Yeah.
You were like, there was kids like die, like missing.
Yeah.
Like they go over there for like after a football game, and you would not see them anymore. So after a while, when I was in 10th grade, they were like, "Oh yeah, man, people don't go to Juarez no more."
You know what's weird about that is you could drive on the highway and you see Juarez. You see the poverty.
Yes.
On the side of the mountain, you're like this. Dude, this
It's hard to explain to people who haven't been there.
Hold on. It makes the projects in America look like Beverly Hills.
Right,
you want to see
right.
some projects?
Look
Drive
over the
the
river.
highway down El Paso and look to your right.
Look over the Rio Grande. It's a Rio Grande. It's a whole different. Literally, even the street lights are a different color. They're like light blue, and then in the States they're like yellow or whatever. Yeah, it's an issue.
The one thing I remember is some young guy that worked at the club took me to Juarez after the show, and he knew Spanish. That's why we went. He knew Spanish, and the door I thought, I don't know what it was, but it stopped about right here, about 4 feet. It was a doorway.
Yeah.
It stopped at 4 feet. This hooker came from under the door, and she went like, $10 fucky. And I literally, the comedian came out of me, I go, if you're going to learn English, don't watch Full Metal Jacket. And the guy goes, no, don't say anything smart. I go, what? I go, I don't think she understood me.
Right.
Anyways, but the fact that she was like $10 fucky or something, I go,
yeah.
and he was like, dude, don't acknowledge the hookers, dude. We don't know what's going on. I was like this, all right. So I was like, am I allowed to talk to girls down there or anything? But that was my night in Juarez.
Is that the only time you went?
To Juarez?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one day, that one night. I walked around, we was down by an hour or two, and then came back.
Wow.
Nothing happened. I'm safe. No Breaking Bad happened.
So you had the Comic View, and what other stuff? You said you had an early.
Oh, then, okay, this is how I knew about, I'm sorry, we got sidetracked. This is how I knew how this business was. This was my reality check. So I get a movie with Jamie Foxx, and Jamie saw me on stage and was like, yo, I'm doing this movie called Held Up.
Yep.
We got this redneck cop, but once you get down, so I had to go audition, but it's kind of like my audition to lose.
Yeah.
Because Jamie made a phone call. So I did it, got the part. I go up to Canada. I'm up there for like 4 or 5 weeks. I come back to the States, and they had a car waiting on me at the airport. In my brain, I'm going to walk into my apartment, and my answering machine's about to be full.
Right.
Like, dude, we want you for this. I just never forget the empty feeling when that driver dropped me off at my little ass apartment. And I walked in, I went, oh, this is
That's
nothing.
it, man.
Wait a minute, nobody's calling. 3 days go by. Nobody's called yet. Huh. Okay. I didn't really have an agent or anything. Does anybody have my number? I'm calling the producer. I flew back with the producer from the movie.
my God.
I'm calling her. I'll never forget her name was Stokely Chafin. I wonder where I'm sure she's killing it right now. She was great. But I remember calling her like, hey, what's going on, Stoke? You got any other movies?
Got any more of the
Movie for
roll?
lunch or what's going on? It was 3 years before I got another movie.
Really?
Yeah. 3 years.
Wow.
Next movie I got was Daddy Daycare. After Held Up.
That is insane.
And
But see, you always have stand-up to work back to.
always
Other
had stand-up.
actors don't have that.
Can you imagine? I'm just saying, imagine the empty feeling. You're an actor, you're grinding, you're with other people grinding. You get a movie with a huge star.
Yes.
And you come back thinking doors are open. They're not. You're just like,
man.
I can't, like, when I get residual checks, I look at them like, God, I can't imagine just waiting for these to pay my bills.
Right? That's like the Cosby Show people. They're like, what is your, bro, are you crazy? Like, they don't have his money.
Right.
So for those to go to drop crazy, that's it.
Man.
You end up, like, this is no disrespect, the dude who played Elvin is like in Trader Joe's. Like, as a man, you like, bro, I gotta work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, feeling sorry for yourself is not gonna pay no bills.
Exactly.
But like, we've always had stand-up. We can, especially now, like, you can always, outside of like COVID, but at least the clubs are
I've
back
been back
open.
on the road for 6 weeks now straight.
Really? Are they still limited
Yeah, it's
audience?
half full.
Half full?
I always say it looks like a Cavs game after LeBron left. That's exactly what the comedy clubs look like. I go, this is the Kyrie Cav tour I'm doing.
So at this point, are you just doing it because you obviously like don't have to be on the road right now?
Well, I
but
mean, you still got bills, and you're used to a certain lifestyle, and you're used to seeing a certain amount of money in the bank.
So you want to make sure that stays the same way.
Exactly. And so I didn't have anything growing up. I never had money.
Bruh.
So I'm like,
You work like you can always be poor.
always.
That's what people always like. Why do you work so hard? Like, I was poor for
was broke.
still much longer than I've been okay. I've been okay for like 3 years max.
No, I
Poor for 33. That's a
never forget
long
that
time.
shit.
No.
I think one of the most liberating feelings I ever had in my life, and it's so minor, was after boot camp. I was in the Navy, and I got stationed in D.C., and we went to like some little restaurant, and it hit me like, holy shit, I can buy my own food.
Man.
That's so simple that I never was able. I always
Means
had to
the
ask
world to you.
permission from a parent or something to eat. I grew up in Trevor, we didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
So the fact that I was like, I got a little money. I can buy this burger and fries, and whatever I want. And then I was always good with my money. Like, I was always a little frugal, but I'm always good with it. And then when you start coming into a decent amount of money in this business, you're just like, I don't want to be broke again, man.
You don't never want to go back to that.
So when you got money in the bank,
Yeah.
it's such a, sometimes I love going in my phone and looking at my accounts. I know it sounds crazy. I'm like this.
I do it too.
This is awesome.
I be looking like, I be screenshotting it just in case I fall off completely.
Yeah.
I can be like, bro, one day though, I had this.
Yeah.
I'm
But
broke
even-
now, but once upon a time in my life.
Even like when I get I know it sounds weird. I love paying my guys. The guys that work for me.
Yeah.
I'm like this. I like forward writing their checks. Like, this is cool. You got that boss feeling,
Right.
But you're also like, all right, now my guys are good too. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's
a
the
good
best
feeling.
part. That's the best part, to be able to like for me, it's important that if you work with me, especially on a consistent basis, like I don't ever want to be like, man, Kev is way here and his other people are like struggling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that to be used against me either. But I want people to be like, bro, he take care of me. You know what I'm saying? You get in with good with Kev, you're straight. But you just got to keep that amount of people who can say that really small. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to
But-
have people that appreciate what you're doing for them.
Yeah.
Some people, like in this business, I've gone through a couple openers because you get comfortable.
Yeah, and feel entitled.
I've never taken 10% of their money. I know there's some people that
take 10% of the opener's money.
Yeah, I know there's comics that do that. I'll tell you off stage, but I know a couple.
Really?
Mm-hmm. If you're going to road, they're taking 10%, like an agent
of what
fee.
the club gives you.
So what do features get? $100?
Yeah, 100 usually,
or 150 if you're going to do a 2-man show for a host and that.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll take 10% of that.
$15
a show.
But why though?
Don't ask me. I don't do it. But I also tell my guys that have opened for in the past, I go, you realize I'm your booking agent.
Yeah.
Not throwing it out there. I said, but when I had my one guy, Say M. I don't know if you know Say Homora M.
Mm-mm.
He's been open for him for a couple years now. No, he's on the podcast next week, actually. We talked about it. Where he goes, one time we were in Houston.
Yeah.
And he got comfortable. I'll put it that way. So I asked him to drive me from the hotel to this restaurant because I was meeting friends for a Thursday night football game.
Yeah.
And he goes, huh? I go, and he just dropped me off. They're going to bring me back, but he just dropped me off. And granted, it's in rush hour Thursday night. Yeah. So we're on our way to this restaurant. He is on 10. He's like, yo, I need a job description. Because I thought I'm like your web guy, and then I'm opening for you. I could be in my room writing jokes, going over my act. I go, right now, I'm your driver.
Right.
I am your driver. I just got off the plane. I'm tired. When he got going, he was going. I'm sitting there going, oh. And in my brain, I'm going, wait a minute. You're going out to eat with me. I'm not saying drop me off. Eat with me. I'm waiting on my friends.
Yeah.
Hold on. One, you asked me if it was an extra ticket. I said, it's not my tickets. I'm a guest of somebody.
Yeah.
So I don't have an extra ticket. So you're not tired because you would have went to the game.
Right.
And then I'm like, you realize I'm not asking you to go build a Habitat for Humanity home. I'm asking you to go to dinner with me. So I let him go all weekend. He said he needed a raise, right? So I let him go all weekend thinking I was going to give him a raise, right? Sunday comes. I sit him down in the green room at the Houston Improv. I said, hey, man, I thought about what you said, and this is what I came up with. And I could tell he's like, I go, this just ain't working out.
Oh,
I said, I'm going to have to let you go. He didn't make a sound. He went. He did every movement. I go, dude, are you in the Jabberwockies right now? What's going on?
Right.
He goes, what? I go, dude, I don't know what to tell you, Say. I go, I'm in my mind, I'm taking care of you. You're staying at 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
You're not a shitty hotel, by the way. You're staying where I'm staying. I said, I'm not taking 10% of your money. I said, you don't have to worry about booking yourself. You literally are like looking at the schedule and you're there.
If you're
working.
Yeah.
I go, I guess that's not good enough for you. I was like, so I'm gonna let you go. And I go, I'm gonna find somebody else. And he went, and then we talked about it, and he realized.
Oh, you were serious?
Dead serious.
Oh, you weren't just.
Oh. No, he was gone.
You were. I thought you were like teaching him a lesson.
I mean,
you were, but not like a fake lesson. You were really going to let him go.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. I was like this. What's going on here? I was lost. Like, dude.
Yeah.
You've told me how broke you were for the longest.
Right.
So you told me all this. Good. I'm like this. Yeah. I was dumbfounded at almost the arrogance of it all.
Right.
And to his credit, we laugh about it now.
Yeah.
And he said what happened was he was doing a lot of my web stuff at the time. Mm-hmm. And the manager, Raymond, of the Houston Improv, gassed him up because he was like, yo, who does your website? And I go, Say. The guy went over. He goes, yo, we've had a lot. He was showing me the numbers he goes, look, we've had a lot of clicks that went from your website to buy tickets. He goes, so whatever algorithms is going on the internet with your website, it's working.
Right.
Because people are going directly from your website to get
to
tickets.
Yeah.
Say got gassed
so
up.
He's
was
like, it's your boy.
It's me.
HTML. You feel
my
me?
name is Algorithm. My name is Say Hamora Algorithm M. So he said, and granted, I love this guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
still
yeah.
working with me to this day.
Yeah.
It was and this was 5 years ago. It was just he had
Yeah,
a reality
moment.
check in a
Yeah.
moment. We've all had it. Like,
Absolutely.
and he was like, but the funniest was this.
I remember my kids, there's a company right around the corner from here, and my kids were working there, and we were getting paid $500 for me to write, direct, produce, edit their sketch show and to pay them. So we all did that. So they're like the number 3 thing on this channel, like number 3 videos. They have the top video. So I tell my wife, like, we should renegotiate their contract. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing all these numbers to this YouTube page. My wife was like, I agree. I was like, we should get a new apartment because I'm sure it's going to work, right? When I tell you, I told these people, I'm looking for double a video, maybe even triple, but I'll settle for double. These people were like, oh, actually, we're going to end your contract. We're not going to re-up with you. I'm like, well, okay. We can go back to the 500. 500 is a great amount. Put it away for the kids. That was my first lesson in Hollywood. You never...
Kev, got you. Role playing. We got a new sketch show called We Don't Appreciate. I would say shit, but I don't cuss. We don't appreciate SH ***. So, do you guys like the show concept?
Right.
Okay. I was just checking. That's fine.
You talk about learning a hard lesson in Hollywood.
It's
Going to renegotiate for more and getting nothing.
but that's not your. Well, I don't know how that works, but that's what agents and managers are for.
Yeah, we didn't have that at that time.
Every time I get an offer for something or something comes along the pike or whatever, I'm very clear to be like, between us, I'm doing it. Do what you do. Try to get more money, all that.
Right.
But I'm doing it.
Yeah.
There's been some projects that's like, that's great.
Right.
I'm doing this show or this movie. Do what you got to do.
Make it happen, though.
But I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just want you to know that.
Because you don't want them to negotiate you out of something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And
And
they'd be like-
what you don't want to do either, you don't want to have people looking at you sideways like, who's this guy think he is?
Right.
You know what I mean? But they
that's
do
the hard part, though, man. Like,
But that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's why you have the agencies and the managers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you calling yourself Kev? You should have had somebody fake as your manager. I did that in the beginning. When I called, it might have been comic strip. Yeah. When I got booked at the comic strip, first time featuring, I made up a name. Do you know David Arnold? The comedian?
Yeah.
Before I ever got on stage, I had knee surgery, and his first wife was the lady doing my paperwork for my knee surgery. And I'm in her cubicle, and this is at Balboa Hospital in San Diego. And I see David, all these newspaper clippings of David Arnold. And I go, who's that? And she goes, oh, that's my husband. And I go, is he a comedian? She goes, yeah. I go, I'm a comedian. And she goes, I go, no, I'm serious. I'm a comedian. She goes, oh my God, I'm going to give you David's number. I called David Arnold on the phone.
Really?
Same day, right? He goes, hey, what's up? And then she called him first and then said, this guy's going to call you. So then I called him. So we talked for like an hour on the phone. And he was like, yeah, man, here's what you got to do, man. You got to get a headshot. You got to get a bio, all that stuff. And then you got to get a tape of yourself. And you got to start sending it out to comedy clubs and stuff. Done.
Right.
I had never been on stage. I had a fake bio. I'll never forget. I opened up for Jim Carrey for a cancer benefit. Never met Jim Carrey. Never went to a cancer benefit. I was name dropping. I went high with the
Might
name
as
drops.
well, if you're gonna make it up.
Yeah, I didn't go low. I went high. So, and then all these fake rooms that I've played.
Right.
You know what I mean? All these.
That didn't exist?
No, it was all fake. You could not find them. It's like Smokey's Grill in El Cojito, California. There's no such thing as an El Cojito.
Nobody's gonna look it up.
Right.
Like, okay, whatever. Smokey's Grill.
Yeah. I was at a Creamy White Gay Festival. That was the great one. That was the Pride Festival. So
That's funny, man.
I sent it out. I went on stage like once or twice, had a VHS tape and dubbed it, sent it out, got booked at Comic Strip in Paso.
It worked.
When I say the first thing I sent out, it wasn't really a show. I taped myself at a karaoke bar.
Oh, wow.
And everybody sang songs, and I went up and told jokes for 5 minutes, and my boy had his camera, and
Just to get the tape?
to send out the comedy clubs.
You really was getting it out the mud.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always knew I wanted to be a stand-up. I just didn't know how do you do it.
Right.
It was
Right.
like, You know, remember Ray Combs used to host a Family Feud?
The dude who used to be kissing everybody?
No,
that
that was
something.
Richard something.
I
Ray
don't know.
Combs came after him. He was like in the 80s.
Okay.
90s. He committed suicide too. Guy's the second guy we're talking about committed suicide.
Man, no, I didn't know.
But he was from my hometown. It's right outside Cincinnati, Hamilton, Ohio. But he had a comedy club in Cincinnati. And I used to go sit outside the comedy club and listen to comics because I was too young to get in. And
Really?
I'd listen to him, and I'd literally be like, I'm funnier than him. I'm funnier than him.
Oh.
And then somebody would come like this, oh, that guy's pretty good. That guy's got a future. That's a good one. That was a good joke.
That's another hard part of Hollywood. Feeling like you're better than people, or you can make stuff that's better than people, and you're not getting the opportunities. That is super frustrating. That's like Kanye, man. These really that much better than me? Like, it's tough. Like,
Yeah.
man, this guy, that person. But, bro, it takes a lot, man. I feel like I've been working forever for, like, these last 3 years for things to, like, fall in place. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, whatever you're doing now is working. I know I've been sarcastic this whole show, but
how did you hear about me? I'm really
just
curious.
through the grapevine. Like, your name pops up when in conversation and stuff. And like, so when I had Tony,
Yeah.
I was like, he brought you up like off camera, like, yeah, I'd do something with Kev on Stage. He was telling me his schedule and stuff like that. And that's when I was like, oh, I think I want him on my podcast.
That's
you know
great.
what I mean? And then I never heard anybody say you're hard to work with or anything like that.
In this industry, the only thing more important than is she funny, is are they cool? Because you could be funny, and if you hear like, oh man, he's funny, but and they don't even say anything. Comics literally just be like, and you be like, man.
Maybe I want the punishment, or I feel like a psychiatrist. Sometimes I like the hard to work with guys.
Really?
I kind of want them on the podcast to be like, I could tell them what they're doing wrong and not be attacking. Like, I had Aries on.
Yeah.
And Aries
but did you know him prior?
Yeah, I've known Aries for over 20 years, but
Okay.
I was like, Aries hit me up like, hey man, I want to do your podcast whenever. I said, yeah. I said, but I want you in studio. I didn't want to Zoom call Aries during the pandemic. I said, and I told him, I want you in studio.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the Aries experience.
Right.
If he did start yelling or he did go off, I wanted to be there like, oh my God, it's happening.
You want to be on comedy hype? Like,
Hold on. Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
So Tracy went off on me one night in Vancouver. We were shooting Little Man.
Really?
Classic story, man. And I was so fucking enjoying it because I was like, oh my God, I'm getting the full Tracy Morgan experience. Here's the thing. I know it's never getting physical with me.
Right.
I know I'm not fighting you. If you feel the need to be like this, relax, let's bring it down.
Right.
So for me, it's always like yelling and all this screaming. I'm not really that dude, but we went out one night and we ended up back. When you go to Vancouver and film 90% of the time you're staying at this place called the Sutton. Mm-hmm. And half the Sutton is a hotel, the other half are apartments.
Okay, yep.
So we're in the apartment side because we were there for so long. And for some reason, Tracy's room was literally right above mine. If I was 503, he was 603.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I could hear him walking around at night and stuff. It's very hard-footed, right?
Right.
So we're up in his room one night on a Saturday, and I remember a couple of the Wayans was there, like Craig. I don't know if any of the other ones, but Craig was there for sure.
Yeah.
Tracy, out of left field, just started going in on me. It was completely unprovoked.
Wow.
I don't know what brought it on. And he goes, fuck you, Gary Owen. Always talking about black women. My mother's black. I'm just sitting there going,
That was his opening sentence?
I don't know, but I'm paraphrasing. Like, this is 14 years ago. So I'm going like this. Oh my God, he's really yelling at me. And he's like this. He goes, I'm Tracy Morgan, 7 years on SNL. He goes, I call Laura Michaels, you'll never be on TV. Never.
Dang.
Hold on. And he's going in, right? In the middle of him going in on me, ding, his doorbell rings. They deliver pizza and wings. You know, because there's like 6, 7 people here now, right?
Yeah.
Also in the middle of him just going off, he goes, fuck you, Gary, you want a slice? He offers me food in the middle of the rant, and then when I said, nah, I'm good, all right, goes back to going in on me. I went, what the fuck was that? So, hold on. The next day, if this was Saturday, I don't know if it was Sunday or Monday, but the next day we were all on set, right?
Yeah.
Craig sees me and he goes, yo, I thought you were about to just fucking steal on Tracy. Like, he was really going in. I said, oh, no, I was loving it. I was just like, oh, my God, he's doing it. I've heard he does this, and I'm getting it. So then Tracy comes up, and I'm thinking, is this going to be tense? Is he still mad? Because I left. He was still mad.
Right.
He goes, Gary Owen. He comes up, hugs me, like kisses me on the side of my head. He goes, oh, we fucking partied like rock stars last night. Yeah, it had to be the next day. We partied like fucking rock stars last night. He goes, I went in on you and you just took it. You my youth, kid. He goes, I love you, Gary Owen. You my youth, man. Like, I'm like this. What? It was like a rite of passage. Like, Tracy wanted to see how far he could push me.
Yeah.
And I didn't take the bait, I guess.
That's amazing, man.
Yo, like he came up like, I thought he wasn't even gonna remember it.
Right.
Gary Owen. We partied like rock stars. I went in on you last night.
That's hilarious,
you
man.
You took it, kid. You're my youth. Yeah, we partied like rock stars.
That's great, man. He didn't remember it at all.
He remembered everything. It was just like, I guess it was a rite of passage for me.
That's awesome, man.
I was just like, and then he, like a year later, he comes to Cincy. Oh my God, this is a great. Let me tell you. I had a show one time, and me and like 4 other comics sat in the green room and talked about Tracy Morgan for 2 hours, and everybody had great Tracy Morgan stories.
Right.
Because Tracy's Tracy. I don't care if he's from a Barack or a drug dealer.
Right.
Tracy's Tracy.
Yeah.
That's why people love him.
Yeah.
So he comes to Cincinnati, and he's at the Funny Bone. And he called me, and I went down there and hung out with him, and I took him out after the show. And we went to this little hole in the wall. It was a nice spot, but it was like a lounge, right? So we sitting there. All of a sudden, you're sitting here, I'm sitting here. Tracy starts moving away from me like this. I go, what's he doing? And then he goes, and then he slides back and puts his hand up like he was acting like a baseball player sliding back to first base. I didn't pick up on it at first. I was like, what is he doing? And then he gets up, dusts himself off.
Oh
like he
my
dusts himself
God.
off. Hold on, and he took off his shirt. He used to always take off his shirt in the clubs. He goes, that's my move.
Right.
He goes, movies and TVs, they can go, but I always take my shirt off.
Yeah.
That's my move. I take my shirt off. And so he does this, then he does it again. All of a sudden, the club's fucking playing baseball.
Oh my God.
Tracy is acting like he's running the bases. He's got some guy playing first, another guy's short, another guy's second, and he's acting like he's up the bat.
Oh
and then
my
he's
God.
running around and like this. What just happened? I was like, did this just happen in front of me? I was like, dude, he's one of my favorite people in the business.
Man, he's as good as advertised.
Oh, he's off stage is better.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like this. He's literally one of my favorite people in the business. And that's talking about things that got away. When he got the last OG, I got this. I was on the road. Something was going on. I was flying that day, and they gave me the audition to play Tiffany's husband. And I was like, this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
I love Tiff. I love Tracy. It's everybody I wanted to work with in this business. And couldn't pick a better vehicle for my brand.
Right.
And they said the audition, I could not get the audition in before. For whatever reason, I didn't have the camera with me. Something, I just couldn't get it done. I couldn't get to LA in time. So I didn't get the audition, right? So I had Tiffany on a couple months ago, and I was telling her about it. I go, man, sometimes there's the ones you wish got away. And Tiffany goes, why didn't you call me? Oh, what? She goes, why didn't you call me? I was like this. I'm not going to call you and be like, can you put me on something?
Right.
That would ruin our friendship, I would think.
Yeah.
She goes, you should have called me. I was like this.
Now you got to live with that.
Right. I was like this. Why would you say that to me, Tiff?
The regret alone is bad enough, but then the fact that you could have done something about it.
Well, here's the bad part. The last thing I want to do is call Tiff, and I ain't called her in a year.
I respect that.
You know what I mean?
I know you get the like random text message from people who haven't hit you up, but like need something.
It's a weird dynamic though, because I want people to know that I'm using nepotism, but I don't expect you to give it to me because of that.
Right.
Especially with Kevin. Every time I've pitched 2 different shows to Heartbeat Productions.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them got picked up. I don't take it personal.
Really?
But I damn sure called Kev to say I'm pitching a show, just so he knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't ever be like, fuck Kevin. Ain't get this shit. Sorry ass Fabletics, man. Ain't nobody wearing that shit.
You went to the workout clothes?
Yeah, you fucking
what do the workout clothes have to do with the
Heartbeat shoes. That was terrible. I wore them motherfuckers. I couldn't even make my over 30 YMCA league team in them. I'm not that guy.
That you were mad at the Fabletics.
Yeah, I'm like fucking Fabletics, all bland ass, no emblem having workout clothes. Anybody can wear that shit.
Oh, that's
But
hilarious.
I never like Gabrielle.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
got LA's Finest.
Yep.
I auditioned for one of the cops. I just sent her the audition. I
Just
went,
let
look,
her
I
know.
auditioned. Here it is. I go, I just want you to know I went out for it. And then Gab takes me back. I'm not in charge, but if it comes to that, I'll put in a good word for you.
Right. And that's all you can
We're
expect.
still friends.
That's all.
I don't ever take none of this shit personal. I know what it is. I know there's, like you said, there's a lot of layers to it. But at the same time, I'm like, when Tiff says something like that, I'm like this, God damn it.
My thing is like, I never, if you're my friend and you need a favor, I have no problem doing it if I can. But asking for that same favor is really hard for me. Like now that we met, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, if there was something you could do, I'll be like, I don't really know. I know Gary, like we did the podcast, but I don't know well enough to hit him for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also you want to value those relationships and the social capital you have. You don't want to. I never want people to feel like we're just friends for what you can do for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, genuine friends have that back and forth type of thing. So I guess it's a tight rope to walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want that reputation, but you also don't feel bad when people do it for you. You know what I'm saying? If it's something you can do.
What's funny when you see it though, like when we was at the premiere for Think Like a Man.
Yeah.
Some producer, director, something was at the premiere, and Taraji was talking to him about some project, and she goes, "Are you gonna put me in it?" I mean, Taraji just came out and was like, "You gonna put me in it?" I was like, "This, holy shit!" She just pissed herself at work. I was so happy to see it. I go, "Oh my god!" I was so happy I got to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because even somebody at her level is
Right, she's
still
like,
trying to
are
get
you
the
putting
next
me in
job.
it or what? Why you
Yeah.
almost like Taraji's looking, I'm like, why are you telling me this? You're pitching me a project that I love. Put me in it.
Yeah.
You know, but, I mean, like I said, it's a weird dynamic. You don't want to be the guy that when they see your number, like, oh,
Right.
the hell's he want?
Right.
But that's why you always got to check in on people.
Randomly.
Always.
With a genuine, that's what I do. Like, if I'm thinking about you, unrelated to anything, not just if I see you in the trades, not just if, you got nominated or something, but like, if you cross my mind, I'll be like, hey man, just, hitting you up or girl, making sure you're good. Yeah. And sometimes that never amounts to anything because you genuinely were like, just making sure they're good.
Well, if you ever do that to me, I'm be like, still creamy, bro. Still creamy over here. I don't know how you doing, but we creamy over here, bro.
Still creamy is hilarious.
I tell you what's funny is somebody set up, like I've known Chappelle for years. So when Chappelle had the Chappelle show, so before, like season 1 and 2 was done.
Yeah.
Before he decided to walk away.
Right.
Some people, like he was at the, what's the one in Orange County? Is it Orange County Improv? Or is that what it's called?
I think it's the Irvine Improv.
Irvine Improv.
Yeah.
So he's down there, got the tour bus, Chappelle. They set it up. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go backstage. And they set it up for me to say hi to him because I knew him. But also they said, just tell him about some of your bits. Because people were telling me a couple of my bits would have been perfect on the Chappelle show.
Yeah.
So I literally just went back. I was talking, Nick Cannon was back there too. And then I finally got Dave alone. And I said, Dave, man, I'll be honest with you. My reps got me back here because there's a couple jokes that I do. I said that they think would be good on your show, and I do too. I said, but I don't want to pitch them to you, and then you're going to give me a fake laugh. Right. He was like, nah, what are they? So I told him, and you could tell when Dave's genuine. So Dave starts slapping his leg.
Right.
He goes, see, that's more, my Chappelle impression's awful, by the way. He goes, that's more the brand of my show. He goes, you'd be amazed at the shit I see. He goes, and I'd be looking at some of this shit like, that's what you think my show's about.
Right.
That's what you think it's about.
Right.
Because I remember the bit I had, and I think I did on one of my specials, was white people should have an N-word card. Instead of black people getting upset, they should charge white people $20, and we get to say it 5 times for $20.
Right.
But we have to have our card. And if we have our card, black people are not allowed to beat us up. But if we don't got it, you got free reign to beat our ass. I said, but the problem is you'd have a white guy saying, I said, and it's not like white people, we want to say it because we're mad.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're watching the team and your team's losing and you're like, man, it's terrible. And the black guy's like, where you at? Got my N-word card, bro. I bought it for this game. You know, you guys got Michael Vick, so I knew I was probably going to yell it.
Right.
So I said, but you'd have brothers that have white guys head into the bathroom like, it's in my wife's purse, Shelly, it's in her purse. She's got it. Sorry, guys. I just, security.
But
check.
see, that is on par with the type of stuff
With
that they
him.
made. I found that most people don't pitch like that. They pitch, like when I used to work at All Def, I used to get a lot of pitches. And people pitch what they want to make, not necessarily what the company makes or what you are doing. They're just like, this is be funny because I'll be funny in it. And that's not how it works. It's like...
Hold on, Kev. I got this show. Yeah. It's called Fuck It. All right? What's it about? We don't know. Just start rolling, and I promise I'll deliver. Every week is different. Give it up, Gary Owen, and Fuck It. Coming this Saturday.
For real,
to
though.
BET.
That's how it be, man. And I'm like, bro, you got to think of what the network wants. Why is this a good fit? Here's some comps that you work, or here's a space you can fill. People don't want to do that, man. They're just like me, though. I'm great.
It's almost the old notion with athletes. Are you in love with the fame or the game?
Right.
Most people think there's a comic out there, and when he came up to me and said this to me, I was looking. I'm like, you're not gonna make it like you want to.
Right.
One, your focus is all wrong. He literally come to me. He goes, "Hey Gary, man, when you first got on TV and movies, like, how many hoes you get? Like hoes coming at you?" I go, "Huh?" He goes, "Like you hoes is crazy, right?" I was like this. Oh, you're never gonna. I was like this. You're never gonna make it, and he hasn't.
I was right about it.
He's still like grinding. I'm like this. I hope you change your outlook.
That's
His
not gonna keep
focus
you.
was
For
hoes,
hoes?
man. I mean hoes.
There's OnlyFans for that.
Right, I was like,
well, I guess it wasn't OnlyFans then.
Not
but.
back then, but I was literally I thought he was about to have a deep. What's up, hey man? What's it like me on the road selling tickets? How things change? And with hoes, though, right? Like they probably just coming right after every show. It got real dark. Like the way he was looking at me like this. What? Yo, man, yeah, I can't wait, man. Hey, you ever had a cube on your ass? What? What are you talking about right now? Nah, man, I'm a pool player. You don't look like an 8-ball type motherfucker. You look like a cue ball in your ass. What? This just went really dark, dude.
Oh my god!
So I don't know.
That's hilarious, man.
What do you got coming up? Isn't that the worst question to ask?
So
what you got coming up, man? Because what you're doing now isn't enough. I've literally had radio interviews. And
Right.
I'll name off like 3 things. I'm like, what else? I'm like, I'm sorry.
3 is a lot, man.
Guess that's not enough for you.
To have one thing is a lot. The thing I'm most focused on is the Keep Your Distance comedy show. So it's a socially distanced comedy show with a live audience in LA, and we stream it live to everywhere. And then you can buy a replay link, or with your ticket replay link for 24 hours, or if you pay a little more, you can get it for 48 hours. So
How do you keep people from like pirating and bootlegging that?
you don't.
Oh,
Like it's
risking it.
just part of the game. Like
Right.
no matter how big of a company you are or how good your technology is, someone's gonna bootleg you. I mean, I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like we're working on stuff that makes it harder.
Yeah.
But right now, luckily, a lot of my audience wants to support and they want to help the comedians. They want to support the show.
Yeah.
But people have parties. They have basically a fight party. They cook, make wings, drinks, have people over. You know what I'm saying? And
many-
buy one ticket.
How many hoes be at them? No, seriously. Like, how many hoes be at these watch parties, man? There a lot of hoes at these parties.
That's hilarious. Well, no, man, that's the
seriously.
thing.
You have a lot of hoes at these watch parties, man. Like, seriously.
I would have been so uncomfortable talking to that dude. I would have been like, I don't know.
You know him. I'll tell you off air who it is. I'm not going to just throw random people under the bus like that. But.
Oh, good. I'm excited. You got a lot of names too. You got to tell me who's taking the 10%. You got to name those guys off. You got to
Well, those aren't really, honestly, I don't know if you'll know them. They're not huge headliners. And this is years ago I heard this, but it wasn't like D-Ray or Blackson or somebody.
Okay.
It's lower level headliners that
Okay,
was
it makes
doing
more
it.
sense then. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's the main thing I'm working on. Just giving comics
Socially
opportunities.
distance comedy shows.
Keep your distance comedy.
Where do you record that at?
We have my boy studio in I guess it's kind of like Glendale, Burbank area, somewhere, some industrial place over there. But they got their own spot. It's secluded. So
you're as a stand-up, you're going up, and there's no audience live.
there's audience live.
So there's people in.
There's people in the audience.
Okay.
There's like 15, 20 people. Basically, the comics all bring their wife or husband, or boyfriend or girlfriend. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law come. You have the camera crew, and then like 6, 8 other people. So you get a small enough audience to like know if your joke's working or not.
The belly room at the Comedy Store. Basically.
Exactly. Or the Yoo-Hoo room at the Flappers. Like super tiny. Then some comics come and pull up, just to see what's popping. 5 or 6 comics kind of stand in the back. So you get maybe 20 people at the most, but then we stream it live. Like for me, I got offered a lot of Zoom comedy shows. I imagine you did too. And the one thing you can't replicate is the instant response. And for me, it's like, it's hard to gauge if my joke's working or not if nobody's laughing real time.
Yeah.
The only thing worse than you laughing and I'm stepping over it is me thinking the joke's working and it's not. And it's like, oh, it's Zoom? And they're like, no, we heard it. It's just not funny. You know what I mean? Like, I heard you clear. Like, is there a connection issue? No, it's perfect. Actually, you're really, really clear.
Hey, why you guys got this on mute?
Yeah, no, we hear you.
We don't.
You're bombing. You're bombing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Virtually.
Virtually
Virtual
bombing.
bombing has got to be worse than live bombing.
Oh, my God. Just know.
Guys
You
are
guys,
tough.
is it frozen? No. I'm just not laughing at you. I'm just not laughing. So I couldn't do that. Like, I can do a podcast, any of that stuff live because I'm not doing my material. But if I'm trying to make you laugh and you're not laughing, I need to adjust. I need to tag. I need to pivot, do another joke. I need to go to a something to work. So
you need to cuss.
I need to cuss. I need to shake it
For those
up.
you don't know, Kev is a clean comic, and he doesn't like that title because clean sometimes correlates to corny or corporate.
But I am
But you
corny,
talk
though.
about sex.
I talk about
all
sex.
that stuff.
I do some Bible, some church jokes, but not in the way you would think. Like,
You know what I tell you? I always every time you say something, I'm like, you want me to tell you something funny about that? I love DC Young Fly to death. Love that kid. I'm great. He's killing it. Blah blah blah. Spirit's in the right place. All that. We did about 10 shows at these theaters together, and I love going up after him because this is what he's got a bit something about licking ass or something like that, and then he closes with this testimony of God is real type shit.
one after another?
I say flawless. It's flawless. It's so good. And I'm like, am I the only one picking up on this?
Right.
It goes from ass lick or something. I don't really. I'm walking to the stage as he's getting to his closer.
Yeah.
So it's something has to do with somebody's ass.
Right.
The female's ass or his ass. I don't know which ass it is. And then he goes into this. It's a great closer. It's a great testimony of how he went from nothing and now he's got all this shit going on. And every year has been a progression. He's like, 2014, I was living in my mama's basement and didn't have nothing. 2015, I decided to do YouTube videos. 2016, I got my first movie. 2017, I got 4 movies. This movie, I got 8 movies. And it's really like you were expecting somebody on the organ.
Right.
But he's getting the crowd and he kills it, right? Kills it and he gets off like, good night, like God is real. And good night. And I would go up and I go, that was crazy. I go, he just went from ass licking to Jesus is real. I go, that guy is amazing. The segue.
That's why you know Jesus is real.
It's so good. I go, why did no one else pick up on this with me?
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's it's him. And it isn't an I love that guy.
Yeah.
But it's so
great,
funny
man.
picking up on shit. I'm like this. Did anybody else pick up on that?
Yeah. But he's worked super hard to like be good on stage. You know what I mean? Like,
I love like backstage, he literally is a sponge.
right.
And he respects the craft.
That's all I've ever heard about DC.
What?
Literally, what you just said. Everybody said he's a sponge. He respects the craft. He does the work. Like,
because as loud as he is on 85 South show, and as loud as he is yelling at somebody on Instagram or something like that, you know, like I said, off stage you might expect that. No, off stage he'll be in the room with 4 comics, and you could tell he's just soaking it in.
Right.
All that knowledge.
That's why
you know what I mean?
His projection is those guys are amazing.
85 South.
85 South.
Assholes.
They're hosting the BT Awards.
No, the Hip Hop Awards.
Or Hip Hop Awards.
Yeah, they're not on that level yet. Right. I'm just kidding. Hold on. You just become a hater? Nah. Not awards. Beyonce's not there.
Right. But that's so amazing, bro. Like
it goes
podcast live?
Let's tell you something. Goes back. Those 3 guys, Chico Bean, Carlos Miller, and DC Young Fly, created their own brand, their own narrative.
Yep.
Through YouTube and social media.
Yeah.
They didn't get the Hip Hop Awards because somebody at BET hired them for something or somebody at HBO hired. They got it because of YouTube, because of Instagram.
Because of their own leverage.
That's what I'm saying. Work gets work, man.
I didn't even know the Hip Hop Awards were coming out until I saw they were hosting them.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know they were, like, it wasn't on my radar until that.
It sucks. The BET Hip Hop Awards, they suck. I'm just kidding. Hold on. I like going in and out of compliments to hate. You know why you didn't hear about it? Because they suck. Okay? Have you heard hip hop lately? It's fucking awful. I'm just kidding.
But, bro, I really wanted my podcast to be as big as their live show is like, they're doing arena like 5, 6, 7,000 or theaters at a podcast.
Yeah. Did you ever hear about? You probably didn't. It was so minor, but I talked about Carlos Miller one time on my podcast because I said, as comedians, classic of being in your own brain, thinking something's wrong.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins had Boogie Comedy Jam.
Oh yeah.
So we filmed that. It'll be 2 years in April. We filmed it, right? Mm-hmm. So Carlos just got off the plane and went straight to walkthrough, and then I'm in the van with him going back to the hotel, and I'm trying to engage, but he's not really engaging. Mm-hmm. I'm taking it as motherfucker don't like me.
Right.
What I'm not taking into account is dude got off the plane, went straight through walkthrough, he's probably coming down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, why don't he like me?
Yeah.
And then you start to think like, I don't like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I talked about it on my podcast like a year and a half ago after it happened. Mm-hmm. And I go, and honestly, I have nothing bad to say about Carlos Miller. He's never once been out there saying shit about me. I don't know. I go, I knew it was in my own brain.
Right.
But for that day, I was like, what's wrong with this dude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for him no more.
Right.
And then Carlos, he sent me a message going, dude, I fucks with you the long way.
Right.
I didn't know how to take that at first. But he reached out and was like, yo, what are you talking about? And then I ended up working with him in DC like 2 weeks later. He was in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. And then it was funny because we was laughing about it on the side of the stage. I go, dude, I realize how you can get in your own head and read things wrong.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I was like this. I was so in my brain like, what's wrong with, why don't Carlos Miller like me?
Yeah.
I've never done anything to him. What do you mean? I enjoy his hats and his goatee. What are you talking about? I think it looks good on him.
The thing that's crazy about 85 Style, kind of related but not, when I was at All Def, we were, I really wanted to give them more, and I could not convince my bosses of they didn't see it.
Where are your bosses at now?
Everybody's fired.
Exactly.
Everybody's fired.
Wonder why.
And then when we got new people, they're like, get 85 South. I was like, no, man, too late. We need them now. Like at this point, I saw the vision way early, was a fan, was talking to their producer, trying to do a thing, but I couldn't, it's hard. People don't see things until it's too late, especially in Hollywood a lot of times. You just like the pandemic, I would have never thought of doing a socially distanced comedy show, but you couldn't perform in LA. Like you couldn't. You couldn't. And my wife was like, look, can you not just go out? Like not even for the, she was like, you've been on the road for like years. Can you just be like home for a minute? Like you cannot risk everything. So I was like, that's kind of where that came from. It wasn't like I want to do that. It was just like, I need to perform stand-up Like to go 3 months, like when the pandemic first
Therapy.
started, dude. Like I'm gonna
Complete
go
therapy
crazy.
for
I would
us.
rather bomb than to not perform.
Let me tell you something. When you hit that stage, all is right in the world.
Gary,
I don't care what you're going through in your life. Once you hit the stage, you're like, I don't care if you're going through a divorce,
Right.
somebody just cheated on you, bills are backed up. You hit that stage and
You
all
pull that mic,
is
you
right.
take that mic off and pull the stand back. I told them when my first joke back was like, that's the equivalent when you're like trying to take the panties off and you know, she like lifts up to help
Yeah.
you. That's how good that feels. Like, you know, man, we're gonna be all right. Like
Yeah.
that's how it felt. And I
Panty
didn't
dropper.
the panty dropper, man. Like, and that's why I don't care how big I get or what happens. I want to the way Seinfeld and Chris Rock and Jay Leno, they always come back. They actually never even leave stand up. Like they're always
I thought you
doing
were
that.
gonna say they're all hacks. I want to be so hacky, like those three guys.
I don't think I'll ever stop like them. Like Jay Leno he was the highest paid person or second highest paid person, and he was still going out every
Hermosa
weekend.
Beach or something like that, right?
Yeah,
the Magic
man.
Club.
Still going out.
It's in you. It's my drug of choice.
Yes.
I never did any kind of drugs,
Yeah.
but once I got that first laugh, I was like,
You're gonna do that
I'm an
forever.
addict.
You could do 10 movies in a row that all got 100 million. And somebody was like, Gary, we got a theater show for you. You're like, done.
I know when I shoot movies, I'm to the point now where I was like, okay, I don't want to do stand up while I'm shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get on set for 3 weeks, you're like, what? Is there anything this Saturday? Because I'm off.
You're pulling up and doing a guest spot just because you need to do it.
That's a fact.
You have to, like, man, just give me 10, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I performed in weeks. So, yeah, man, I don't think that'll ever change for me, ever in my life.
Yeah.
Like, my whole goal is to do everything I want and then to get, like, a Vegas residency.
Do like Don
And
Rickles.
Don Rickles,
Go
George
out.
Wallace, just come down
Not
from
me,
my
bro.
penthouse.
Reno.
Reno?
I'm kidding. No, the property value's better.
Say you want to torture
Nah,
yourself.
yeah, I'm gonna go to Reno. Where I live in Northern California,
Right.
Reno's a spot in my neighborhood.
Really?
Everybody goes Tahoe and Reno's where they go to gamble.
I want to go to Tahoe.
They don't go to Vegas. They go to
blame
Tahoe.
you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was funny. Like my neighbor actually was funny. First time I went to his wife's like a whale. She's a high roller.
Yeah.
So they said, hey, Gary, come to Reno for a couple days. My wife was gone out of town, and I wasn't doing anything. And this was during the pandemic, but they were starting to open shit back in June.
Yeah.
I said, is it open? They go, they're opening up this weekend, first time. I said, I'll go. So they got me a room at Harrah's.
Yeah,
They got me
yeah.
this huge suite, right? I go there, I'm in this huge suite because I got a house in Tahoe.
Yeah.
So then it was funny. I go, damn, man, I was here for 3 days and never saw the lake. And her husband goes, there's a lake? Because I gamble so much in Tahoe. He goes, there's a lake here?
It's in the name. I thought that was just synonymous.
Wow. You guys gamble a lot.
That's hilarious.
So, okay, Kev on stage, somebody comes to you, and I ask this to all my guests. They say, all right, man, here's the movie. Pick anybody you want to be in the movie with. Is one person you could work with in this business, actor or director, who would it be?
Will Smith.
Will Smith?
I met Will Smith in January. It was the highlight.
Where'd you meet him at?
At his office. We were pitching a digital series. I was with All Def.
Did you get tongue-tied when you went in office?
No, you
Hey,
know what's
man.
crazy? We were walking out of the pitch meeting, and he came out of the kitchen and he like bumped me a little bit, like not aggressively, but he was like, "Hey, oh!" And I was like, he had Fig Newtons in his hand. He was eating 2 Fig Newtons at once, which was like,
They probably weren't real Fig Newtons. They were probably made with some organic grain that lowers your body fat level.
But I bumped into him. He was super cool. And I'd be like trying to be cool, like I ain't gonna get no picture of him. You know what I'm saying? But it was Will Smith, man. Will's been like famous my whole life. You know what I'm saying? He had 10 movies in a row, $100 million at the box office. And I post that on my Instagram once every 2 months, just to remind anybody if you forgot. What?
Let me see it. Your screensaver?
Name my
He's more
screensaver.
important than your kids.
I don't even delete it out of my camera roll.
Let me see this picture of you and Will Smith.
Hold on.
I'm acting like I never met him. Let me see this
met
picture
him?
of you and Will Smith. I met him on the set of Wild Wild West.
Did you
That's
really?
how far back I go with that motherfucker. I'm just kidding. I ran into Will like 4 or 5 times. I pitched when he had Overbrook Is it still Overbrook Entertainment?
I think he has that too for media, but it was Westbrook Entertainment. That's me and Will Smith.
He's not a liar.
Nope. Might as well throw it up today.
Where's the fig Newton?
He put it down.
So let me go like next time you post it, and then post me and you, and be like this. Yo, met 2 of my idols. This is crazy. My favorite white and favorite black guy. But I said my goal. What I want to come out of the podcast is all my guests come on, and then they're like, yo, you say who you want to work with, and that shit happens on Gary's podcast.
That would
Here's
be
what's
great.
crazy. Now, granted, Kev's a shot caller, Kevin Hart. And I said, Kev, who you want to work with? He said, well, Will Smith was the actor, and then Todd Phillips, Todd Phillips was the director.
The Joker guy?
Yeah.
Oh, the
now,
Joker.
So, Will and Kevin, doing plane, trains, and automobiles together.
Yeah,
I go, I don't want to take the credit, but I will. And then I had Joseph Sikora on, Tommy from Power.
Yeah.
I said, who do you want to work with? And he named off people he hasn't worked with, but he also said, I'd really love to work with Deion Taylor again.
Really?
And then he just did a movie with Terrence J and King Batch, and Deion Taylor directed it, and Joseph Sikora in it. It's going to be terrible. It's fine. I'm just kidding. Hold on. I just like to do some negativity to might get some clickbait shit going on. Gary goes in on this terrible horror movie with Deion Taylor and Kevin and Terrence J. It's going to be awful. It's not going to be scary at all. I mean, Terrence J. He's not fucking scary. Just Sikora and Tommy.
You
kill the fucking ghost, bro. You kill whoever that killer is.
Right.
That's why I didn't like The Intruder with Michael Ealy and Megan Good.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Joseph, man, you created such an iconic character. You were supposed to fucking shoot Dennis Quaid immediately at the end of that driveway.
You died
Went out
off
like a
screen.
Went out
And
like
it just showed you like Frozen or something.
Went out like a pussy, man.
It was just weird.
You don't do somebody like Tommy, then do The Intruder, and you're all nice,
Right.
lovey-dovey, and it's fucking Dennis Quaid? What the fuck, man? You're supposed to get killed by Ving Rhames with the axe to the back of your head. Ving Rhames should have killed Joseph Sikora in that movie and been not in the movie. Just came in and Ving Rhames and went, "Ugh!" And he just walked out like, that had nothing to do with the movie.
I would accept that much more than the way he died. There's no way Dennis Quaid kills Joseph Sikora.
Not like that.
Not like that, no. He's
if
like
you, hold on.
50, 60.
If you're going to do that, I should have played that part.
Right.
Why you hire Joseph Sikora when you could have had me? We look damn near the same. And people been like, that's how Gary gets killed.
Right.
That's not how Joseph Sikora and Tommy gets killed.
No, not from what he's done.
No.
The last 5-6 years, he's earned more than that.
Now they got the spinoff.
They have like 3.
Well, Tommy starts in January. I want to be his brother so bad. I don't even want to be on the show like on it all the time. I just want to do like 1 or 2 episodes. They can kill
when
me.
They go back to the family.
Yeah, like, because his dad was a Rolling Stone. His dad was out there. His dad died. Tommy killed him.
Would you like to do dramatic acting?
I've done a couple small dramatic parts. Yeah, I mean, I would.
A lot of comics really kill at that.
Well, we come from pain, man.
We
come from dark shit. There's a bolo on my brother right now. Be on the lookout for. He's doing the lowest level crime. I talked about it last week with Tony Rock. He is out there stealing catalytic converters off of cars because he gets $75 at the junkyard for it.
Catalytic converters?
That's
entry-level crime.
It's white crime, man.
I was riding in an Uber one time, and the dude driving me had his girlfriend came and spent the night. They had broken up, and he woke up, and she had stolen his truck, and she brought it back, and no catalytic converters. He's on the phone with the detective taking me home. Like, no, man, she stole the catalytic converter out of my truck. And I was like,
I know there's money in that.
Gotta take that call at a different time. He was like, no, man, I got it. She stole my catalytic converter.
You in my car for 10 minutes. This is my life, okay? Why do you think I'm Uber driver? You think I want to do this, bro? This isn't the game plan.
He had it on speaker too, man. Like coming out of the car, I was like, I feel like I shouldn't be a part of this like information.
Right.
It was just weird. That was like your parents arguing. It was like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Hey, quick question: can it get any hotter in this studio?
Right.
Holy cow! This episode is brought to you by Back Sweat. There's so much going on in the crack of my ass right now. I'm sitting here listening to your story going, I just felt an entire drip start from the top of my vertebrae and somehow slip down the crack of my ass. I went like this. This just got hot. I'm officially moist.
It is hot in here. Is it always hot? This hot?
Not quite this hot.
The air, be honest. It's
Dude.
100 degrees outside today, though.
Holy cow, guys.
Climate control,
I'm holding
man.
it together. We're both wearing black.
I know. I always wear black. It's supposed to be slimming, but I just be looking like I look.
I just like black.
Me too, man.
It's helped my career.
I can wear.
We got coffee mugs that we got merch for the podcast. My coffee mug says, I like my coffee like I like my women. Black. You want cream and sugar in it? How dare you disrespect my coffee with cream and sugar? Do I look like Jason Kidd to you? Hell no, I don't want cream and sugar. I want Dikembe Mutombo coffee.
Hilarious.
I want Akon coffee.
Right.
Michael Blackson coffee. I want it so black, you think it might be tar. Like, are you drinking shit they put on the road?
Oh,
No,
my God.
it's coffee, bro. Thick coffee. So,
Whew.
all right, man. Well, I appreciate you fighting traffic, coming
man.
down. This is our first time really meeting and talking.
It is. I appreciate you for having me.
Well, you have completely blew my expectations. I thought you were way cooler. But that's fine. I don't get it. I don't get what the appeal is. I'm like this. I can see why they didn't pay you double $500. I can see why Will Smith didn't buy your pitch. Hold on. You tell me all these stories like this. Yeah.
I get it.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
If I was in casting,
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you.
It's all good,
No,
bro.
I really, thanks for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I hope you get to work with Will Smith in
I
the
do,
movie.
too.
Hope
It
you
doesn't have to be a movie, by the way.
anything.
Literally anything. Doing his podcast, him doing my podcast. I'd be happy with that.
Nah, I'm even
I
high with
would.
Will.
I mean, I
I
want
want
the
him on the
movie.
podcast, but you talking about you get to work with Will Smith one time. What do you want? If
A
you
movie,
say
okay,
podcast,
movie. I'm just saying I would take the
fucking
podcast.
Tracy Morgan. You. I
would definitely want the
You'll never
movie.
be on TV. Kev on stage.
I'm gonna call Lord Michael.
You get one chance to work with Will Smith. You say you fucking podcast. What the fuck's wrong with you? Your podcast? You could do a movie. You could be huge in Istanbul. Will Smith is huge overseas, bro.
Yes.
I didn't move with Michael Jai White. I didn't realize how huge Michael Jai White is overseas.
Is it the
Karate
the
shit.
martial stuff?
Yeah,
martial arts stuff?
that should
Yeah.
translate. That's why football movies don't necessarily translate overseas, but fighting translate everywhere.
Fighting in Fast and Furious. You don't need
Evidently.
much dialogue to get that.
Clearly.
I understand throwing a missile across ice. You don't
Clearly.
need English for that. Like, oh yeah,
Act like you've done this before.
The Rock holding a helicopter with his bare hands.
Or how about how long was that lake?
Oh my God!
That plane took off,
on the tarmac.
Yeah.
it was 300 miles long. It was a 30-minute scene.
Yeah.
There's
Look at
no
this.
airport in the world, but you don't need to understand English to get that this is cool.
Yeah, right. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And
Cool, man.
We'll have you back in whenever you want to come back.
Cool. Thank
Open
you
door.
guys. Goodbye, all.
Kev on stage.
Gary Owen.
Can I be the last one to talk on my podcast, Kev? Jesus Christ.
Of course.
Kev on stage, everybody. Shh.